You know what's crazy? You can be doing everything right, texting her first, being nice, showing interest, even giving her your time, and still she just doesn't take you seriously. You can feel it, the way she delays her replies, the way she laughs but never really invests emotionally, the way she treats your presence like an option rather than a priority. It's not that she doesn't see your worth, it's that she doesn't feel it. And that's the part most men never understand. Because in her world, attraction isn't about what you say, it's about what you signal. And sometimes the things you do with good intentions are the very reasons she'll never truly respect you. It's painful when you care, right? When you're trying to show her that you're different from the rest, that you're loyal, genuine, and all in. But what you don't realize is that women don't fall for effort. They fall for energy. They fall for how a man makes them feel. And when your energy comes from need, approval, or fear of losing her, she senses it instantly. It's not about words anymore, it's about emotional frequency. The more you try to convince her that you're worth it, the more she subconsciously thinks you're not. Because deep down, women are not drawn to the man who seeks validation, they're drawn to the man who doesn't need it. Think about it. How many times have you found yourself over explaining, apologizing too much, or trying to prove that you're a good guy? You do it because you care. You do it because you want her to see your intentions, but to her, it looks like weakness. It's not fair, but it's psychology. When a woman sees that you place her opinion above your own self respect, something inside her quietly switches off. She stops taking you seriously, not because you did something wrong, but because you stopped being the kind of man she could emotionally trust to lead. She might like you, but she doesn't respect you, and once respect is gone, attraction dies right after. Here's the truth most men don't want to hear. Women test you not to hurt you, but to see you. They test your emotional strength, your boundaries, your self-worth. When she pulls back or goes cold, she's subconsciously checking if you'll chase her or if you'll stay grounded. When she ignores a message or gets distant, she's not just being difficult, she's trying to see if you'll lose yourself over her. Because if you do, she knows you were never as strong as you seemed. And here's where it gets real. Many men confuse kindness with weakness, but those two aren't the same. You can be kind, compassionate, and respectful and still be taken seriously, but only if your kindness comes from power, not from fear. Women sense the difference instantly. The man who gives from a place of self-worth feels solid. The man who gives because he's afraid of losing her feels needy, and that difference changes everything. It's like when you walk into a room, your energy tells the story before your words ever do. If you walk in with calm confidence, people respond differently. Women do too. But if you walk in trying to impress, trying to win approval, or trying to prove your value, she already knows she doesn't need to give you her respect. You've already given it away. And that's the first silent reason why she never takes you seriously. It's not what you say, it's what you radiate. Let me tell you something most men never realize until it's too late. The moment you start overinvesting in a woman who hasn't earned that level of effort, you lose a piece of your value in her eyes. It's not about playing games or pretending not to care. It's about balance. When you constantly initiate, constantly accommodate, and constantly prioritize her emotions over your own, you send one subtle but powerful message. You need her more than she needs you. And the second a woman feels that imbalance, she stops seeing you as the prize and starts seeing you as the pursuer. Think back to the early stages of talking to someone you really liked. You probably caught yourself checking your phone more often, thinking about the right words to text, or wondering why she hasn't replied yet. That's normal. But if you let that anxiety control your actions, double texting, over explaining, or adjusting your schedule around hers, you unknowingly tell her that you're waiting for her approval. And that's when she starts to pull away. Not because she's cruel, but because biologically and psychologically, women are drawn to certainty, not desperation. See, attraction isn't just about looks or charm, it's emotional chemistry. It's the unspoken dance between confidence and mystery, between effort and independence. When a woman feels that you're willing to walk away rather than beg for her attention, she takes notice. Because that's rare. Most men panic when they feel her slipping away. They chase harder, text more, give more. But here's the paradox. The more you chase, the faster she runs. There's a moment in every woman's mind when she decides whether she sees you as a leader or a follower. It happens quietly. When you react to her silence, when you get jealous over her social media, when you start questioning your worth because of how she behaves, she reads all that, she feels it, and if she senses emotional instability or a lack of control, she won't trust you with her respect. Respect for a woman is the foundation of desire. Without it, everything else crumbles. Let me give you an example. Imagine two men texting the same woman. One notices she's taking hours to reply. He gets irritated, maybe even calls her out or sends a passive-aggressive message. The other man, though, he notices the same delay but doesn't flinch. He doesn't chase. He keeps his energy focused on his purpose, his life, his peace. He's not playing hard to get. He is hard to get because his attention is valuable. Guess which man she starts to take seriously? It's not the one seeking reassurance. It's the one who's secure within himself. Here's the harsh truth. If a woman senses that your world revolves around her, she'll eventually test how far she can spin it. And every time you bend a little more, every time you accept disrespect, every time you keep showing up for someone who isn't showing up for you, she loses a little more respect, not because she's heartless, but because women can't emotionally follow a man they don't look up to. So stop trying to impress her. Stop trying to win her validation. Instead, start asking yourself, would I still respect me if I was her? Because the answer to that question determines everything about how she'll treat you. Here's something most men don't see coming. Women don't just judge you by what you say, they judge you by what you tolerate. Every time you let something slide that disrespects your standards, you're teaching her how to treat you. And when you do it often enough, she starts to believe that your words mean nothing. You tell her you value respect, but you still chase her after she ghosts you. You say you don't like being ignored, yet you reward her with attention when she comes back days later acting sweet again. Deep down, she thinks, he'll never walk away. And that's when she stops taking you seriously. You see, women pay close attention to how you handle moments of tension, not how you act when things are good. When everything's easy, anyone can seem confident, but your true energy shows when she challenges you, disrespects your boundary, or gives you the silent treatment. That's when she finds out if you're a man of substance or just another guy trying to keep her happy. Most men panic in those moments. They rush to fix it, apologize even when they didn't do anything wrong, or try to buy back her affection with validation. But the men she respects the most, they stay calm. They don't beg. They don't chase. They respond with self-respect. And that self-respect is magnetic. It's rare. Because when a man has it, she can feel it in his tone, his silence, his decisions. He doesn't need to prove anything. He knows that if she truly values him, she won't risk losing him over games or ego. And if she doesn't value him enough to respect him, he's willing to walk away. That's emotional maturity. And that's what makes a woman see you differently. You ever notice how women always seem to fall harder for the men they can't easily control? It's not about being a bad boy or toxic. It's about being unavailable to manipulation. A woman feels emotionally safe with a man who doesn't crumble under pressure, because deep down, that's the man she can trust to lead, to protect, to handle life without losing his center. You become that man when your emotions serve you, not the situation. Let's be real. It's tempting to give in, especially when you like her. When she withdraws, your instinct tells you to chase, to fix, to prove you care. But every time you do that, you teach her that her attention controls your behavior. And no woman can respect a man she controls. What she truly craves, even if she doesn't admit it, is a man she can trust to remain grounded no matter what. So, the next time she pulls away or tests your limits, don't rush to chase her. Stay calm. Stay composed. Let your silence speak louder than your emotions. That silence says, I'm not desperate. I'm disciplined, and believe me, women notice that more than any sweet text or compliment you could ever send. Because in her mind, that's the kind of man who commands respect, the kind of man she can't play with. You know what truly separates the men women admire from the men they forget? It's not money. It's not looks. It's not charm. It's emotional gravity. That calm, grounded energy that makes her feel like she can't just float in and out of your life. Whenever she feels like it, it's the kind of presence that makes her stop, think, and realize this man doesn't need me to feel complete, but I want to be part of his world. That's the energy of a man who commands respect without ever demanding it. He doesn't raise his voice, he doesn't play games, he doesn't chase validation, he creates it from within. You see, women are incredibly intuitive when it comes to emotional energy. She can tell when you're confident versus when you're pretending to be. She can feel the difference between a man who's patient and a man who's passive, and she can sense when your kindness is real or when it's coming from fear. The second she realizes your actions come from fear of losing her, she starts losing interest. Here's what's wild. Most men try to get women to like them through compliance. They think, if I agree with her, if I do everything right, if I never upset her, she'll stay. But what actually happens is the opposite. You become predictable, safe, and eventually invisible. She starts to think, he's nice, but something's missing. That something is polarity. The masculine tension that keeps her emotionally engaged, the sense that you could walk away if you're not respected, but you choose to stay because she's worth it. That's what makes her take you seriously. Women want a man who can challenge them, not with arrogance, but with quiet strength. When you disagree respectfully, when you hold your ground calmly, when you lead without forcing, it triggers something primal. It reminds her that you're not like everyone else bending to please her. You're anchored. You don't move just because emotions get heavy. You can handle her intensity without losing your center. That's when she starts to look at you differently. Think about it. When you show that you can walk away from disrespect, you teach her how to value your presence. When you stop chasing and start leading, you flip the dynamic. She begins to pursue your respect. She starts texting first. She invests more. She wants to earn your approval, not because you demanded it, but because your energy commands it naturally. And that's when attraction deepens beyond the surface level. But here's the key. You can't fake this. You can't pretend to be confident while secretly craving her validation. Women sense that dissonance instantly. Real power comes from alignment. When your actions, words, and boundaries all tell the same story, you respect yourself, you value your time, you won't tolerate being an option, and because of that, you automatically become someone she can't take lightly. And the moment she realizes that her behavior changes, she becomes more attentive, more invested, more feminine around you, because women naturally soften in the presence of masculine strength, not dominance, not control, strength. That's the kind of energy that doesn't chase attention, it attracts it. And once you step into that mindset, everything about how women treat you begins to shift. There comes a point when you stop chasing, stop proving, and stop trying to earn her respect. And that's the moment everything changes, because when you finally realize that your worth isn't something a woman can give or take away, you become untouchable. You stop worrying about whether she likes you or not. You stop overanalyzing her mixed signals. You stop letting her silence control your peace. Instead, you start focusing on what actually matters: your energy, your boundaries, your purpose, and your emotional control. That's the man a woman takes seriously. Not because he's perfect, but because he's present. He's grounded in who he is, whether she stays or walks away. And when a man reaches that place of inner calm, women can feel it. They can sense the difference between the man who's chasing connection out of loneliness and the man who chooses connection from abundance. The first one needs her, the second one invites her, and that's a world of difference. You see, women are emotional mirrors. They reflect back whatever energy you give them. If you bring uncertainty, they respond with confusion. If you bring insecurity, they test you. But if you bring grounded confidence, if you radiate certainty, calmness, and quiet power, they start to relax into your presence. They open up. They respect you because you've created something rare, emotional safety mixed with masculine authority. It's not about dominance, it's about balance. You don't have to raise your voice or play hard to get. You just need to hold your ground. That means saying no when something doesn't feel right. It means not rewarding disrespect with attention. It means walking away from anything that costs your peace. And the moment you start doing that, not out of ego, but out of self-respect, you'll notice something amazing happen. The same woman who once ignored your worth will start chasing your attention. The same woman who tested you will start trusting you. Because deep down, every woman wants to feel the strength of a man who doesn't lose himself for her. And that's the irony of it all. The less you need her approval, the more she respects you. The less you chase, the more she invests. The less you talk, the more she listens. Because power isn't in proving, it's in being. So if you've ever felt like women don't take you seriously, remember this: it's not about changing who you are, it's about changing how you show up. Respect yourself enough to walk away from what doesn't value you. Speak less, observe more, and let your silence set the tone. Because when you stop giving away your power, you become the man who doesn't have to ask for respect. He naturally commands it. And once you become that man, she'll never see you the same way again.